Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so sorry I was away last week. I do have a very long explanation why I did not post a video, but I did have a few new things that I wanted to try out for you this week. So if you want to see how to get this look and just what my thoughts are on these products, then just keep watching. All right, so let's get started. So I have a couple things that are new to me so far on my face. Sorry, I forgot to mention. Caliray primer as usual. Oh, I'm about to put my eye cream on. And I'm also wearing the Dior Forever Matte foundation. I find it's the only thing that's actually been keeping me matte lately. And I don't know why. Like, it's winter. Why am I oily still? I'm usually not this bad, so I don't know what is happening. But, yeah, I think last time I said I had the shade 0N, it's actually 0W. I remember now 0N I had to begin with, but 0W was a little bit better because it oxidizes a tiny bit, but this one oxidizes like the right color, and 0N I remember oxidized a little bit orangey. But anyway, let's get to it. So the first thing I'm going to be using, besides what I already have on my face, I also have a Painterly paint pot on my eyelids. I'm going to be using the Haus Labs concealer. As you can see, I have two shades. They had none of the light shades left, and I really wanted to try it, so I tried 12 Light Rosy. I remember Blair, Simply.Blair, saying that she had this one and that she liked the shade, and her and I usually wear the same shades, maybe like give or take one shade down for me. But I really wanted this one, which is Fair Golden, and it finally came into stock, so I ended up getting both. So I just mixed them together because this one's like, it's not too dark, but it's like exactly my skin tone, and then this one is too light. So I feel like these two together work perfectly. So let's go in with this, and I'll show you what I mean. So this one is quite pinky, but once I have all my makeup on, then it works. And then I'll show you the goldeny shade, which is quite fair and quite golden. So I just mix this one just right in the corner with that. And we'll go in with a sponge. I really should have washed my sponge. This one looks pretty dirty, but oh well. And then I'm just gonna grab my powder as usual, the Givenchy, and get it ready. I like to let this one sit just for like a few seconds. I'm sorry I didn't do a video last weekend. My pup was sick, so she's been struggling with balance issues. And a little while ago, she had an ear infection. And so that can obviously do that. But we had taken her to the vet when we had first noticed these kind of signs. And that's when she got medication for the ear infection. She had like a yeast ear infection. And so it seemed like when she was on antibiotics, she was doing much better. But then, and we had her on eardrops too, but then it seemed like she kind of started losing her balance again. And then I talked to the vet because she has been kind of showing signs of like dementia. And I say pup, but she's really like probably 11, 10 or 11, we don't know for sure. And sorry, I cannot talk at the same time. Just one second, I'm just gonna finish this eye. So just, yeah, just displaying kind of like weird behaviors, like things she never used to do. She'd never pay attention to her reflection in the mirror, and now she does. Okay, so I did not do a good job on this eye. Usually I would smooth it out a bit better, but I kind of set it with creases. But I have been really liking this concealer. I do feel like it's quite hydrating and it doesn't leave my under eyes super wrinkly looking. Ignore this one. I'm going to try to do better on the other side. I'm going to do that and be right back. Okay, sorry. So I just finished my other eye off camera. But anyways, yeah, so she was kind of displaying like sort of weird behaviors. She would be sitting there and like all of a sudden she looked like she was just falling asleep or like falling to one side. And then I read that it could be a stroke, it could be toxicity, and she has had toxicity before. We don't even know the cause. We think it's like a liver thing, but ever since we've had her on liver enzymes and they've helped so much, like her liver levels have been really good since we've had her on those. So we're just keeping her on them. But yeah, just this behavior was very strange, and it said it could be like poisoning of some sort, and we're with her all the time, so I wasn't really thinking it could be that, but you never know when you're not looking. They could get into something. Like one time she was licking a piece of gum and I'm like, oh my god, and I freaked out because that can literally kill them. Yeah, so I ended up calling the vet, asking him about this, and I said, like, it literally looks like she's drunk and she'll be walking and she'll kind of like walk sideways, or she'll just start like sliding to one side. And so I thought it could be that it's the ear infection still, because it says that could cause basically vertigo. And he said, okay, try giving her some of the drops again, the ear drops, because I said they did seem to help when she was on them, but she's not on them anymore. So he said, okay, try giving her them again and see if that helps. If that doesn't help, then give us a call. I think it could be geriatric vestibular disease. I'm just using a little bit of my Nars just to kind of really set, because like I said, I'm oily mess lately. Really set this down here. So I said, okay. I didn't know what to do because I mean, at first I thought it could be like a tumor. Everything you read is just scary. And so he's like, I can't remember if he said, my worry was, can she get an MRI if she can't be put under anesthesia anymore? Because they told us last time she was getting her teeth done that she's not a good candidate for anesthesia because her blood pressure dipped too low, which is Haus Labs bronzer. And so I think to do an MRI, they do need to be asleep, because otherwise they're going to be moving and just kind of going crazy, right? And so he said, well, I think this is what this is. But anyways, if she's still experiencing this after the drops, bring her back. So then last Saturday, it was just so busy. I had a dentist appointment. We just had so much going on. Had to do some Christmas shopping still. And it was just super busy. Oh, and I went to go get vaccinated again. And yeah, it was just a lot. So Saturday night, I went to my parents' house. They have a huge like washer and dryer, and we just have a tiny one in our condo. So I went to do laundry there and brought the dog with me, and she was walking weird while she was at my parents' place. And I even said to them, like, look what's happening, like I feel like I do need to go see the vet. Like, this has been going on for a long time. She took the drops already. She did seem fine on them, but then went back to this weird wobbly business. So they were like, yeah, she's walking weird, like definitely contact them. So I did, or no, I wasn't going to yet. I went home, and when we were on the drive home, she started crying, And that's unlike her. Like, she'll whine because she just doesn't like being in the car. And she'll whine because she's hungry, or she wants to get out, or she has to go to the bathroom or whatever. So she was whining, which is normal, but then she started like high pitch whining, kind of like crying, and I was like, okay, what is this? Like, she sounded in pain, and she has a little seatbelt, so I'm like, is the seatbelt like tugging on her fur? What's happening? So then finally we get home. It's like midnight by the time I get home, and I try to calm her down. I fed her. She ate all of her food immediately, but I had already fed her at my parents' place, but it's just her thing. She needs to eat before she goes to bed, otherwise she'll whine. So I'm like, well, maybe I need to take her out again, because after she ate, she was being worse, like whining, crying. I was like, what is happening? And so I picked her up. I tried to calm her down. We were just like laying together, but she wouldn't stop whining. And I'm like, okay, something is wrong. Like, she obviously doesn't feel good. And then I worried because I had in the back of my mind that she might have this vestibular issue. And then I was thinking, well, I was just driving with her in the car, so maybe she like is dizzy. And then took her outside because I thought maybe she had to go. She didn't. Brought her back in, crying. Finally, I held her until she started like falling asleep. Then she fell asleep. My fiance got back because he was, I think, at a hockey party or something. And then I'm like, she is not good. Like, something's up with her. But she was sleeping, so we're like, okay, well, we'll just leave her. I'll take her to the vet in the morning. I had already left a voicemail. Obviously, I knew they were closed, but I left a voicemail for them just being like, hey, like, she needs to come in. And so she finally fell asleep. I think she fell asleep for maybe like half an hour. And then she got up and she was like, sorry, this is kind of gross, dry heaving. And I'm like, oh my God. And when she was doing it, she was like, there was like a high pitched like scream coming out of her. And I'm like freaking out. So, because when I can't help her, I just like lose it. I don't know what to do. I start panicking because I didn't want to take her to this one vet we went to. Not only because they charge like an arm and a leg, like it's insanely expensive, but I just didn't want to have to put her in the car again. And I was just trying to calm her down. I wanted her to go to sleep. And so it said you could give them gravel, but I didn't know how much to give. And I think we only had like the gel caplets, so I didn't give her any. And then finally she got sick, and I'm like, okay, maybe she just didn't feel good and that she just needed to get sick once. No, she was up till like 5 in the morning. She got sick a few times, which is always worrisome. Like, if she just gets sick once, I'm like, okay, I mean, that's normal. But if it's more than once, then I start to worry. And so we were up so late Saturday night, like 5:30. Finally, I bring her to the vet on Sunday, was there for hours. Like, I don't know why we make appointments when they never stick to them, but anyway, it was pretty busy there. So he did like look in her eyes. He looked, because if they have this geriatric vestibular thing, there's like a certain movement that their eyes do, but I couldn't see it. Just like looking at her, I couldn't see that she was doing it. So I'm like, maybe it's not that, but he did see it. He said she has a very slight one. And so that's what he diagnosed her with, was what we thought it was. And he said the movement of the car could have made her motion sick. So he did give us like Serenia, which is like a doggy gravel. But I think you can give them normal gravel too. So then we gave her that, and now she's on something called gabapentin. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's like a human drug. And the gabapentin is supposed to help with this dizziness, and I do think it is helping, but still sometimes she's like in a weird kind of like, it's almost like she's daydreaming. Like, she'll just be like, I'll be like, hello, like snap out of it. I try to like get her out of it. But yesterday she seemed fine. Today she seems like pretty alert. I just hope this is what it is for sure, and there's no like tumor or anything. I asked him and he said like she's displaying more symptoms of the vestibular disease, but that it could go away or be helped, but I don't know. I'm paranoid now. I hope she's okay. Just don't want her to have to deal with that, and don't want her to feel sick, and it's just very stressful. So I'm gonna go in with a newer blush to me. This is the, I know what you're thinking. What? It's Mahogany. It actually looks darker on camera than it does in person, but it is the Dior Rosy Glow in Mahogany, and I just thought it looked so beautiful, and I really want to try it to show that it can work for somebody who's very pale. So I'm just using the Pro Foundation number 64 brush from Sephora collection, and I know it's foundation, but just the way these are dispersed, I just feel like it goes on really nice when I put blush on with this brush. And I just dipped in like one time. I know you see a lot of people who are like, pew, and like stamp it on, but it can work for fair people. So that's what it looks like so far. I'll go in with the other side. So I just kind of went. So obviously a little goes a long way, but as long as you're blending it out and using kind of a fluffier brush. This is like a dense fluffy brush, but it works somehow. It's almost like it goes almost kind of like a rosy tone on me. And I wanted to try this one because the berry one works on me, and I love the berry one, and I'm like, maybe I'll love Mahogany, which I do really like. I don't think I like it as much as berry, but still really do like it. All right, I think that's enough. Now we're just gonna blend it out. So yeah, last weekend was pretty stressful. And like I said, she seems to be doing okay. Still has a little bit of balance issues, but it seems to be better, knock on wood. I hope, because it's so stressful. I think I'm gonna go in with this guy. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury highlight in Champagne Glow, and I'll go in with this brush, just a Real Techniques brush. And I'll probably go off camera to do my brows, and then I will show you the new eyeshadow I picked up. Okay, so I did one eye, as you can see. Brows are done. I just used the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in the shade Taupe. I also used just the teeniest bit of the NYX brow pen, Lift and Snatch brow pen in the shade Blonde. I underline my brows, like just right underneath with, I think it was the Maybelline Express something. I can't find it now, of course. And then I just use the Makeup by Mario brow setter. No, Master Hold Brow Gel. I'm running out of this. I'm running out of my 24/7. This guy here. This one's getting like kind of clumpy. So I think I need a new one of those. And then I just outlined my lips with the Westman Atelier contour in the shade Biscuit. So I went and did my eye. I'll show you what I'm using. Okay, listen, don't judge me. I really don't support them, but I just thought this looked so beautiful and very me. So I will show you. And does this look familiar? I mean, So one thing I did notice, like Makeup by Mario has a lot more like golden-y kind of undertones, and this one's kind of more neutral. So as much as I do think they are quite similar, she did have this packaging a long time ago with all her other eyeshadows, but if you wanted to see a comparison, like just straight up one eye with that one and one eye with the Kylie palette, then let me know. So first of all, I'm going to go in with the shade Nude. And just going to go in the crease with that one. And I bought a new mascara as well, and this is Blair's fault. She tried it on camera and I was like, whoa. And I instantly got it. And this eyeshadow palette is Makeup by Cheryl's fault because it looked so stunning on her. I was like, I thought about this palette a while ago. Now I'm going to go in with Cedar. But I kind of just forgot about it because of everything else. There are just so many new palettes released this year. And then I saw her use it and I was like, whoa, I love that. Not that I don't already have these colors, because I'm sure I do. And then I'm going to go in with Shadow, this one here, which is that taupey shade, which that's the shade that I love. Kind of is a little more grayish. I'm just using the same brush for all of the shades. And then I'm going to blend it out again with that Nude shadow. And then I think we're going to go in with a little bit of a smaller brush, and we're going to use that chocolate shade. And just go right in the like very small of the crease. We're not going to go all the way up, just kind of right here and on the outer V. And then we're going to do some lighter shadow here. We're going to use the shade Base, which is this guy. Between this one, the Patrick Ta, and the Makeup by Mario, I feel like I am set for nude, or not nude, well nude, but also matte eyeshadow palettes. They're just all so pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my liner, and the liner is going to be, as always, Ash from Victoria Beckham. And I'm just doing a very, I'm trying to do a thin line, and then I'm going to blend it out with the shadow. And I say I'm trying because this just sharpened really weird and it's not super pointy, so I'm going to try to get as close to the lash line as I can. And I don't go all the way anymore, I just do that with my shadow. I go like 3/4 of the way, and then just use my angled brush to kind of get in the middle or in the inner corner. I think I went too high. Definitely did. Okay. It's okay, we can fix it. So I'm gonna go in with Chocolate and Sable. So these two. And then just, I'm gonna try to maybe pull that out a little more sideways instead of upwards. I just try to blend it with that angled brush. I'm sorry, my stomach is making crazy sounds right now. And then just go right into the inner corner with that. So there's no actual liner on the inner corner, it's just shadow. I'm going with a little more of that brown and black. And pull it in. Maybe I'll pull this one up just a tiny bit more. Just to kind of match them. Should have paid a little more attention to that. I think it's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna curl my lashes. I already curled this side, but I'll curl this side here. And go in with that newer mascara. Oop. A little deformed there. And just curl this one again. Okay. And then I will tight line as well. I forgot to do that on this eye. So we have to go finish the rest of our Christmas shopping. Ugh. Just want to be done with that. I like Christmas, but it's just stressful, and then there's everybody's sick around this time of year, and I'm just, nope. The mascara I'm using is this new one by Clinique. This is called High Impact High Five Full Volume Mascara. Not my normal preference in a brush, but I've been liking this one. And it seems there's little like fibers in it. I don't know if you can see. As soon as you take it out of the tube, there's like teeny tiny little, what looks like little fibers. To me, it kind of gives like a very like fanned out look. I just really like a lot of volume, but I like volume without being clumpy. Like, I did Lash Clash the other day and I actually really liked it. That one took me a while to like. It usually takes me some time. I do think this one is really nice, but yeah, I was gonna say, but I wish it gave me a little more volume, but I feel like if you kind of play around with it, then it does. But when I saw Blair use it, I was like, whoa, like instantly it gave her lashes like a crazy amount of volume. I do like length too, of course, but I feel like they're already long, so as long as I have volume, then I love it. It's nice because you can use like the smaller end to kind of separate the lashes a bit. I did get some, see if you could see the top. There's like those kind of fibery guys. So I did get a little tiny bit on my lid, so I'll wipe that off. So is everybody ready for Christmas? or holidays, if are you getting any holidays. Thank God I have 10 days off coming up. I just feel like I need a rest. The weekend is just not long enough, especially this last weekend we just had with the dog. It's like, it was the longest week ever because we were just both exhausted. That Saturday night, just with no sleep, just killed us both. And yeah, it kind of just drags into the new week because you're just trying to not catch up on sleep, but I guess have good sleeps to make up for the one that was really bad. Anyway, we just have a few gifts left to pick up. Thank goodness. And nothing that we have to order, so that's good. But yeah. Okay, so I think I went a little crazy on this side. But I'm just going to try to, I feel like this one lash is going sideways here. I just want to try to fix that one. It's good enough. Okay, so now we are going to, I don't really think I got any on the top of that lid, just this side here. So like I said, if you ever have this issue, you can just go in with a spoolie. Where is it? There it is. Oh no, this is the lash comb. Ay. Any spoolie. This is just a brow one. And just flick it off the lid. You have to wait till it's dry. That might have not been as dry as it could have been. But just flick it off, and then maybe I'll just go in with a tiny bit of shadow again. Just to fix it, and then let's go in with a lip. I don't know what I want to do. I mean, you know, I always want to do. Should I do boy? I always want to do my Gucci. This is just Chanel boy. I think I just want to add a tiny bit of lip liner because I just had that contour. I'd want to add just a bit. And this is the Marcel Velvet Gel Pencil. Ooh, if you live in Canada, is Marcel sold in the US? I'm not sure. But if you live in Canada, there was a bunch of recalls on Marcel skincare, which is kind of scary. When I worked at London Drugs, we sold that like crazy. Anyway, just look into it if you use Marcel. And it's nice to have like a balmy lip for once because my whole body in winter is just like a desert, minus my face. My face, nope. Still oily. Sorry, my stomach is growling. So that is boy. I think that looks pretty. I'm so used to the matte lip. Okay. Let's take this all out, fix the hair. There we go. So let's just go down the line of products that we use today. So this is the Kylie Cosmetics. This is what it looks like. The outer package, the classic matte palette. Very pretty. Everything performed beautifully on the eyes. I just think it looks very, very nice. And this is definitely my type of color story for sure. The Dior blush, love. I love all of them. I think Berry, again, is my favorite probably for winter. And I think for summer, Cherry is just like amazing. But this is beautiful. And if you're fair, I think it will still work on your skin tone. As long as you use like a fluffy brush. And then the mascara, I really, really like. Still getting used to it. Let's just give it a little. But I do really like it. And yeah, I haven't had any issues with this. So I did want to try the brown one. Sorry, got hair in the back there. I did want to try the brown one, but they only had black at my Sephora. What else was new? Oh, the Haus Labs. I really, really like this. I would say it's definitely like in my top, if I had a top 5 concealers, this would be probably like number 2. I'm not sure. Do you guys want me to do like a ranking video of all the stuff I've tried, like top 3 in every category or something? This would probably make the top 3. Again, I'm sorry, my stomach is grumbling. It's probably time to eat. But yeah, this I really, really like. It's nice and hydrating. Definitely gives me some coverage. But I'm sure you've heard this before. It is a little bit thicker. So I would say because it's a little bit thicker, probably use a little bit less than you would normally use. But I really, really like it. And I've been really enjoying that. And I think that was everything. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you have any ideas of stuff you wanted to see, please let me know. And I will, try to get that up for you. And have a great day and have a great weekend. Bye.